Hey everybody, welcome back to Football Talk with Coach Chip. It's episode 34. We're going to change gears a little bit on this episode. We've been talking a lot about some shotgun stuff and some wing tee stuff and bucks and jets and passing game, read plays and all this. Hey, we're going to go back in time and we're going to look at some under center stuff and a little bit of gun stuff. Short yardage goal line, what a lot of folks call their heavy package. It'd be very generic, just a couple of rules that I've put on myself over the years and things that I've learned in education. We call that best practice. And we're going to talk about what can you do inside that's a little bit different. I was inspired by this by a good friend of mine. He's been a spread guy for 20 years. He was one of the first ones in the state of Alabama, hard, dyed-in-the-wool leech guy. And he has this, something like this, his is different than mine, obviously, that he's gone to in the middle of the field. And depending on his personnel, in high school, it's that way sometimes. And but he gets inside the 5, he's going to go to this. And you need it sometimes just for a change-up, and sometimes you just need it to run the clock out. And it's real tough for an opposing team to get ready for a spread team, especially like my friend, who, like I said, he died in the wool Leach guy. Now, he used to go out to Lubbock when Leach was at Texas Tech and hang out with him about a week every summer and just follow him around. And a lot of things he does, he got from Leach and, of course, evolved to that. He's one of the closest to being true air raid of any of the high school coaches I've seen over the last 10 or 15 years. But he will go to this, and it's tough when you're trying to get ready for, all the throwing it around, the fast screens, the quick game, the mesh, and the shallow cross, and you're getting that for a defense to also prepare for something like this, which is an easy change-up and an easy install, not very expensive, and you could do it maybe to begin with, 10, 15 minutes in the summer. Then once you get it in, about 5 minutes a day, maybe 10 minutes a week, and just go over this with your kids. It's something the offensive line can work on during special teams, on kickoff and kickoff return. And if you've got your starting linemen on kickoff and kickoff return, either they're very athletic or you just don't have any numbers. But because their butt needs to be over there with the O-line coach working on things like this that they don't work on normally during their individual time. All right, without further ado, let's look at some of the stuff that you can do when you get down closer to goal line, or it's just time to grind it out on somebody. All right, guys, now what you see right here is a very generic double tight full house T formation. You do what you want to with it. You can set these guys over here like this, whatever you want to do. But now just a couple of things to think about when you're doing this. Tighten your splits. Now, our default splits in the open field are 2 feet, okay, 2 feet. I wear a size 14 shoe, and I tell them I can get both my feet in between y'all, that's a good split. All right. Now, when we tighten it up, when we go, whatever you're going to call it, heavy, for years over in Lynette, we were the Panthers, we called it Big Cat. And we didn't have any other call like that, and we called Big Cat, and the kids knew how to sub. Tighten your splits to what I call 2 fists. And you just walk up, have your O-line guy walk up and down the line. Can you get 2 of his fists between those feet? If they're a little bit snugger than that, that's okay. If they're a little bit wider than that, that's okay. But you don't want them to have like 3 or 4 fists, okay? And that's just, I try to use things I have available to me, okay? And I've always got my hands on me, so 2 fists. Excuse me. All right. Lower your OL. Lower them in their stance. Now, one of the things I've done in the past, and it depends on the scenario, and we have a rule or a term. Sometimes it's like this, 4, down, 4, down. It means getting a 4-point stance. Down lineman, getting a 4-point stance. Now, let me warn you, if you're a gun team, when you go to 4 down, your line needs to know they need to back up. When you go to 4-point stance, they need to back up even deeper. You say, well, coach, they'll line up in the backfield. As long as their head is split in the crease of that center's hip, kind of his waistline right in there, he's okay. But what will happen is if they get in a 4-point stance and get really low and lean forward, their head will break the neutral zone, okay? So you need to be aware of that. All right, so lower your offensive lineman, to 4-point stances is always a good thing. You know, getting in that regular stance, especially if you're a spread team and you run a lot of zone concepts, they got to get lower than they normally get, because that defense, if they're coached right, they're going to get low. Don't be afraid to crab block or bear crawl. Don't be afraid to use those. Now, you say, what's the difference? Well, to me, crab and bear crawl are very close, but a crab block, the way I teach it, you know, crabs move sideways, and they'll come off that ball low like they're bear crawling, but then they start swinging those hips. Like if you're running to the right, your right side will come, and I use down blocks, they'll come down and they'll hit that guy that's inside of them in a bear crawl. Okay, trying to get their arms all tangled up in his legs and things like that, chopping like this, and then swing their hips toward the defense and keep crabbing sideways. That's the crab. That's crab blocking, crabbing sideways. And now that guy either got to run up field around your head or go backwards around your butt and your feet as you're crabbing him. And you don't need much when you get down close. When you're in this offense right here, at that point in the game, you don't need much. If you're making those guys run around blocks, you're winning. Don't be afraid to use severe angle blocking. And I mean severe angle. You're in the two fist splits, okay? Don't take that normal angle, almost flat, toward the next. Like if you're the tackle and this is the guard, you want to go almost right at him. And that's severe angle. A lot of gap schemes, teams use that all the time. But don't teach them, say you're going to come flat. All you're trying to do is get lateral push and movement. You know, we all get caught up in that old school way of knocking them out of the back of the end zone. Well, yeah, go ahead and try that. If you're knocking them out of the back of the end zone, you can line up in anything. You can line up in I formation, pro I, and knock them in the back of the end zone. But if you're in this type of situation, they're probably putting maybe their big right guard or right tackle in the game in the A gap. Okay, good luck with your normal guard trying to move some 300-pounder, a kid that never plays defense, except in such situations and been told to make a pile in A gap. Well, you need to get movement, and you go sideways. Severe angle is a great way to get movement, and you're getting a push, a sideways push. I don't like pulling linemen on goal line. And it goes back, if you're my age, you may remember, I believe it was the first time, may have been the second time, you know, the 49ers and the Bengals played twice in the Super Bowl. I want to say maybe it was the second time, but the Bengals tried wrapping a lineman like on the 1-yard line, and it got blowed up, and it cost them the Super Bowl. And I was like, I don't know, I was in college or a young coach when it happened. And I remember thinking, pulling linemen on the goal line is not a good thing. Now, when you say, and some people, their goal line is 5 yards. Some people, it's 3 yards in. I'm not going to teach you or try to change your mind on that. Whatever you think is sure enough short yardage, you need to start thinking about not pulling linemen. Because if all they're trying to do is dive into A gap and B gap and create a mess, then that's going to mess up your pullers. And so what I do, I use my backs like pulling guards. And the very next bullet point below that, use extra H's or fullbacks, depending on what type of offense you run. Put them in there. So you can do something, look down here at the bottom here, you do something like this right here. See, that's an H and a fullback, or H's and fullbacks right there. And this is your best running back, your best short yardage running back. Your best running back may be a scat back. He may be a jetter. He may be really good at buck sweep, but he ain't so good inside the tackles. You know, some teams will take their starting fullback and put him, he's their touchdown guy. And then you got your next best H and fullback or even tight end types right here. And then you got your best 2 tight ends in the game right here at tight end, here and here. All right, don't be afraid to use those guys. And so when you make whatever it is, you know, you call big boys, heavy, you know, that's a pretty generic term. Just, you know, and they know they go on the field. And that's kind of stuff we love to practice on Thursday. We call it playing the game. We'll have a script. And we'll go through different scenarios, and every coach gets a copy of it. They know what's coming. They know what they're supposed to do. Where, you know, your young coach is spotting the ball for you knows on right here is you want the ball on the 1-yard line on the right hash. You want the ball on in between the 1-yard line and the goal line on the left hash. We practice all that on Thursday. So, and the kids on the sideline listening to calls and all that kind of stuff. You go heavy, 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 and they come run on the field. Use extra H's, extra fullback type kids. If you don't have that kind of kid, if your H's aren't that big physical guy that you want there, don't be afraid to use them. If you have kids that don't go both ways, like an athletic D lineman. We had one a few years ago. We did that with a lot. He loved it. You know, he was the big black cat, we used to call him, because that's what he called himself. And we put him in the game, and he was the main blocker. Linebackers, DNs, anybody athletic enough to line up in that backfield, okay? And they can move people and get in there. Use them as pullers. You know, do not use more than 2 blocking rules. That you do what you want to do. You want to run the regular offense, it's fine. I'm just saying things that I've seen over the years. I basically use 2 blocking rules when I'm in short yardage, at the most. Okay, severe angle downs, blocking down, and reach blocks. If you're going to run like a toss or a sweep, something outside, you know, teams like loading up on you on the inside, you think you can get around the edge on them. 2 rules. Either they're going to reach, and the other thing I like to do too, I didn't put on here, I don't mirror plays, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, and it varies. Well, I say I don't. There's times that I do, but think about not mirroring plays. Okay. All right. Let's look right here. Now you can use any formation you want to. Full house T, offset I, like double power I, kind of like I showed you a while ago. Or wishbone. Wishbone's real popular in the South. That's some things die hard. Now this right here, you got severe angle blocking on both sides. The arrows, the lines don't do it justice, but severe angle, and it's just fullback wedge, the same blocking you'd use on quarterback sneak. Okay, and that all you want to teach that quarter, and teach him one way to do it, in my opinion. Have him step left, get off the midline, and turn right there, and give that thing to the fullback. And notice I've got the halfbacks right here going straight ahead. What they're going to do, they're going to find that fullback's, he's going to find that fullback's right butt cheek. He's going to find that fullback's left butt cheek. And they're going to put their, I'm going to put my left, if I'm the right halfback, I'm going to put my left shoulder pad on that right butt cheek of that fullback, and I'm going to drive him like I'm on a sled. You can't grab him and pull him in, but you can drive him in. The left halfback, take that right shoulder pad, put it on that left butt cheek of that fullback, and drive your feet, and you tell that fullback to keep his shoulders down, his head up. Okay, and protect that ball with 2 hands, drive those feet, and he's going to get help. So now you've got 3 sets of legs driving. The ball carrier and both those backs. And that's just fullback wedge. By the way, you want to run quarterback sneak, you do the same thing. You just tell the fullback, quarterback's going to keep it, and the quarterback needs to alert the fullback which way, if he's going to take a gap right, a gap left. It may be nothing more than rubbing his right hip or his left hip, or just turn around and look at him, so I'm going left. All right, and tell him. So because he's going to come right there and put both his hands on that quarterback's butt, and he's going to drive his feet. And then those halfbacks are going to do the same thing they did with that fullback. They're going to try to put those shoulders on that quarterback's butt cheeks and drive. So now you got 4 sets of legs driving. Tell that quarterback, cover that ball up, keep them shoulders down, that head up, and drive those feet. So you got the quarterback driving his feet, fullback driving his feet, halfbacks coming in there. Tell them don't hit the quarterback, but come in there and put it on him and then start driving, just like they're on a sled. Just like they're on it. And you got to practice. You can practice at half speed and practice at quarter speed. Okay? And everybody else is wedge blocking. Severe angle on both sides. They're just coming and blocking the next thing inside of them. If they're running a true zero, then you're going to have 3 guys. You're going to be triple teaming the nose. And those tackles are coming down looking for anything. And don't let there be space between you and the next lineman inside. Remember, 2 fist splits. 2 fist splits. All right, now, I love doing this one. In the past, especially in the old days when we were a wishbone team and a spread bone team, and we ran midline, he'd do the same thing he did a while ago on the wedge, stick it in the fullback's belly, give him a little ride, fullback, hit it hard up in there like you got it, look for a gap. If it's back over here, go there like you're trying to score, go here like you're trying to score, and run those feet. Even when you hit the pile, keep running those feet, spinning and fighting. See if you can't make a safety or a corner or a linebacker run to you instead of the quarterback. And the right halfback, remember I said use them like linemen. He's kicking out, the edge guy. Everybody else is severe angle down blocking inside. Okay? This back right here, while that fake's going on, he's screaming, hauling butt right here. He's trying the first gap he can, turn it up, go to linebacker. Quarterback's going to stick the ball in right there, give that fake, okay, and then come right here like he's running the old school midline right there. All it is a quarterback blast, quarterback keep, quarterback lead, whatever you want to call it. It's a good play on the goal line. If you don't believe it, go watch Navy run their version. It's not they're not reading it down there. When Navy runs that midline, that's a quarterback blast all day long. You can find that on YouTube, just like you can find me on YouTube. Coach Chip, Football Talk with Coach Chip. All right, now this is a downhill toss, power toss. The lineman doing the same thing, severe angle, blocking down. Okay, the halfback, same thing you just did on the quarterback blast, kicking the edge of defender right there. Want to kick his inside number. Anytime you're kicking, kick that inside number. All right, fullback, you're going what the halfback did a while ago on the blast. You're coming right here looking for that space. You get a good down block, come off that down block looking for backer. This back right here is going to go flat. Okay, get a nice soft toss. The quarterback's going to reverse out just like that and just float it right at him right there in his gut. Catch the ball first. You got to practice this, guys. They're going to lay the ball on the ground on you. And if you're not comfortable with it, just let him come right here and hand that booger to him. And you're running at an angle right there. Okay? That's fine too. You say, well, why do you toss it then? Because something about that toss makes these cats play flat. Makes him come running up out here where he can't do anything. That's double contained. You've heard me talk about it on other episodes. The corner makes itself useless when he thinks it's a wide sweep. And it's a power downhill toss. It's like LSU. LSU. Been running it for years. I don't think they ran it much last year. All right, now here's the toss. This is the second blocking rule. Full reach right. Full reach right. Staying low, running those feet, blocking the next thing to your right. Okay? Full reach. And it's just basic sweep blocking right there with the halfback, right there with the fullback. Looks just like the downhill toss, but he's going to keep that joker wide, read those blocks, get up in there and score. That's for teams that like to pack it inside on you. All right, now the counter off of it. Back to severe angle blocking. Both sides, severe angle blocking it. Okay? Now what you're going to do on this, you're going to quarterback reverse out like he's running the downhill toss, the power toss, or even the sweep. Boom, and he's going to give it right back just like you would on old GT counter, but you're not pulling anybody. Give it back right here, boom, to right halfback, right here. Okay, he's going to jab step, and he's coming right here. He's got the backer. The fullback should be so low that he doesn't need the jab step. On the snap, he's going to go straight to the edge. He's the kicker. He's the fullback right here is the kicker. Okay, he's going to jab step, throw his hands up like he's catching the toss. All we're trying to do is get him take a step or so here, step or so here, step or so here to give us a chance to get a funnel right here with these down blocks, get that kick out right there by the fullback. And so who's going to block the corner? You got to tell that running back, tell all them running backs. If that corner tackles you for no touchdown or no first down, man, that's sad right there. Who are the worst tacklers on most teams? The corners. Okay? Well, the wide receivers, but the corners on the defense. So you tell him, say, hey, you're one-on with cornerback, you either put a move on him or you truck his butt. We're not blocking the corner unless we're running toss wide. All right, but that's a good little counter. And notice, nobody pulling, only 2 blocking rules. Full reach, 1 play, and then severe angle down on both sides of the football and everything else. It's good goal line stuff. Good short yardage stuff. All right, now this is a little boot off of it. And what you can do is each week you can add something to it. Go into your first game or your jamboree, your preseason game with 1 or 2 plays. Okay? Or I don't know, maybe you're one of those guys got all the time in the world. And each week you add something. And by week 5, you got your full complement of short yardage package. You say, well, how are you going to block it, coach? Severe angle? See, that's part of the thing of severe angle. You're not going downfield. You're blocking the next thing inside like that. When we're running the ball, backs are going to pick up those linebackers. So you're not going to be downfield. And that's one thing your O-line guys got to stress to those linemen. You're not going to go downfield on goal line. First off, you're not going to make a block in the end zone. That matters. Think about it. If it's in the end zone, we've already scored. So you go flat, severe angle, block down. So it's almost like an RPO kind of thing where they're just run blocking. Again, same thing. Or if you want to do a rollout, you can do your reach blocking and have a call telling the kids that it's a pass, don't go downfield. But I recommend doing this. So what he's doing here, you're faking the counter. You're faking the counter left, and I only have counter left, what I gave you. You know, blast right, toss right, sweep right, fullback up the gut. And there's no mirror to it. So they're going to fake the counter left. This time the fullback's going to jab step, and he's coming hard right here to the flat. He's going to severe angle, block down. Tell him he's got to put both hands on that guy. Put both hands on that guy and block him, push him, okay? And he's going to chase. This is not the kind of thing you come out and do the first time unless you really broke them down on film and you know what they're doing. And you're going to push him down toward the middle, and push off of him and break out to the corner. Now, if you're down inside the 5, tell him to break out at an angle, go into the corner pylon, okay, the back corner pylon. Make sure he's at least a yard inbounds from the end line. He's going to run to the flat, ever how far he's got to run to get his butt in the end zone. So that flat route's got, we don't want him to catch it on the half-yard line and the linebacker make a heck of a tackle and no touchdown. He wants to get in the end zone. And here's what I teach kids. When you catch a ball in the end zone on 2-point conversions and goal line situations, as soon as you catch it, fall down. That way they can't hit you and knock it loose. Catch it and fall down. We actually lost a 7-on-7 over in Auburn University in Jordan-Hare Stadium to like a 6A, 7A school in the championship of the 7-on-7. We always played up, and we never expected to win it, but we got hot that year and made a run. We're in the championship game. We score on a 2-point conversion, and literally our kid catches it and goes up to throw it up, stick it in the air, and the safety waylaid him like it was full contact. Guys, it was 7-on-7. I mean, waylaid him. Ball came loose. Cockeyed referee called incomplete. From that point on, that was years ago, we told our guys, if you catch the ball in the end zone, especially on 2-point conversions, goal line situations, catch it and fall down and cradle it with 2 hands. Then hand that joker to the referee. So that never happened to us again. Thank goodness it was 7-on-7 and nobody gets rings for that. But that fullback's going to jab step like he's running the counter, lead blocking on the counter, then come back right here. Quarterback is going to reverse out, fake the counter, and roll. It's just a boot. That's all it is. Backside tackle, you're going to get toward the back of the end zone. Okay, I always teach them, if we're on 2-point conversion, run to the goalpost about a yard deep and then come across. Trying to get big, like you're posting up in basketball. Find an open spot, wave your hands. And we did that, and this is basic. We do have a bunch of different formations over the years. I haven't decided what we're going to do this year. All right, here's a Wildcat Heavy situation. Okay, a lot of, if you don't want to get under center, load it up over here. Almost like a single wing kind of thing. Load it up. Still severe angle blocking, still using backs like linemen. That's your kicker. That's your wrapper. There's your lead guy right there. You got 3 guys going through the C gap at the point of attack. And to me, that's what running the football is all about. That's what running the football is all about, is outnumbering the defense at the point of attack. And you can do that when you start playing and manipulating with these guys right here. And there's all kind of things you can do off that. If they start overplaying you over here, look, notice we're unbalanced or end over, depending on who you're talking to. I prefer to call it end over. And I usually put an eligible guy back over here. And they start overplaying you to your heavy side, do this. Well, there's your toss. My bad. I have them in different order. Look, full reach. There's my 2 blocking rules again. Severe angle and now full reach. And just snap it to your Wildcat and take off. Okay, you block it. I like cracking right here. You can't crack anymore, but you get in there and cut that guy off, and now you got a kick out on the corner. I love anytime you make corner force, you're winning. You are winning. Now, here's what I was saying. If they overload you to your heavy side right here, then you run the counter. Okay? He takes off like he's running the sweep, okay, and just hands it off right here. He's going to jab step, boom, come right here. And again, you're using your backs like linemen. The green guy, that's your kicker. The gold guy, that's your wrapper, your funnel runner. And then he's going to find the hole right there. Severe angle down, severe angle down. And you probably get better blocking if you don't unbalance or end over this thing and leave this cat over here to block down. I didn't adjust the defense on my diagram here, but this is something you would do if teams are overloading you. You got a sharp kid at quarterback. It ain't got to be the kid getting the snap. It could be one of these kids right here that's sharp, and you tell them, say, hey, make a call. Count the numbers. If they got us over here outnumbered, then we got them over here. And then you just make a call, and you run your counter back the other way. It's one handoff, direct snap, one handoff right back over there. Okay? That's what I got. We're 25 minutes in, a lot shorter than that last one I gave y'all. But a bunch of y'all sure did watch it, and I sure do appreciate it. Listen here. Hang in there. We're hearing good news here in the South. We'll be back with our kids in June. Keep your fingers crossed. Get on your knees and pray. Whatever you have to do, let's make this thing happen, and let's make sure we make it happen safe. All right, remember, you can get up with me at seagle.chip, SEAGLE.chip @gmail.com. I'm Chip Seagle on Facebook, Coach Chip on Facebook, Chip Seagle on Twitter. Make comments down below. Hey, remember what I always tell you, be elite.